I'm gonna let it shine. It's been a loud night. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
The first speaker, a fourth grader from Crespo Elementary School, Brandon Curbow.
It was just like any other day at my school, Crespo Elementary. It's about 2:15 in the afternoon, and I'm sitting at my desk. I'm in fourth grade, and my teacher, Miss Rice, is going over tomorrow's homework. Then the intercom beeps, and all the students look up at the speaker and wait for the announcement. And I think to myself, this is a little strange, because announcements usually happen at 2:40, and this one's early. Then my principal, Miss Ramon, says in a calm, cool voice, "This is a lockdown." Miss Rice then walks to the locked door. Well, you see, in elementary schools, we must always keep the doors locked so that I have to be let into the room. That way, a stranger can't walk in without the teacher knowing. Then she puts up a small piece of black construction paper over the tiny window in the door so nobody can look in and see if there are students in the room. Then the lights are shut off and the blinds are closed. We are told to gather around her and crouch down like this. And we're not allowed to say a word. Not a single word. And we all sit in the dark, wondering what is happening to our school. And then a group of Millie's friends start to giggle, and Miss Rice gives them that teacher look. You know, the look that all teachers learn eventually, that, do I have to say be quiet again look? And I tell myself, this is just an alarm, a drill, I hope. And then I hear a pow, pow, pow. And it's Josh over there in the corner. He thinks it's funny, but I don't. I should feel safe at my school, but instead I feel scared and anxious. Maybe Joshua feels the same way too and is using his sense of humor to break the tension for himself and for other students. What my classmates and I are practicing is called an active shooter drill, and it is what we are taught in case an emergency arrives. Our teachers are showing us how to save our own lives. And finally, after the longest 3 minutes of my life, Miss Ramon beeps in and says, "All clear." I don't believe that Dr. King would have imagined that school children are taught to huddle in the corner in order to protect themselves from an active shooter. I don't believe that Dr. King would have imagined that this would be our America in 2020, but it is. I believe that Dr. King would have wished that no one would feel scared to go to school or a concert or any public event. Sometimes I feel we are further from Dr. King's dream than ever. What are we, as a nation, going to do about this recent rise in gun violence? It is true that it is our constitutional right to bear arms, but when our Constitution was written all those years ago, there's no such thing as a semi-automatic rifle that shoots 150 rounds a minute whose sole purpose is to kill. Maybe we should look at how permits are given to carry firearms. It's easier to get a gun permit than to get a driver's license. We don't even require a background check to buy a gun. Or maybe it's our mental health care system that allows people to fall through the cracks. Gun control is such a difficult issue, and it still affects us to this day. Our prayers go out to the students of Bel Air High School who are still suffering from their tragic loss earlier this week. I wish Dr. King was here today, but as we all know it, he himself was a victim to gun violence. But if he was here, I am sure that he would have a plan to make America safe again. Thank you.